welcome. Hi, Mr. Bowen. Come on in. It's the leadership classroom.
Yes, so first one, what is your favorite part of this room?
Favorite part of this room? See, people would think I would say the couches, a couple couches, but I think I've only sat on that couch once, so that's not my favorite. I think my favorite part is either the bobblehead collection of A's memorabilia, or I like pictures. There's a bunch of pictures on the wall. Probably one of those two spots.
And I do see those photographs on the back of the wall. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, so it's mainly, I have 3 children, so it's mainly my kids, and to be honest, I haven't updated in a while, so it kind of only looks like I have 2 children. But yeah, it's like pictures throughout like my life, and yeah.
Which one's
kids.
your favorite?
Favorite picture? Let's see. Man, I'm on the spot. Oh, there's a really cute one. I gotta find it. Move the guitar. Dude, where'd it go? Okay, so there's this one picture up here. I can't find it, but the A's had clinched the division, right? And there's this sold-out game. There's like 45,000 people there, and my son fell asleep in the stands, and everyone's down like along the fence, like high-fiving players and stuff. But my son's like asleep, so it looks like he's completely alone in the stadium. It's up here somewhere. Just trust me. Take my word for it.
And I think I see a picture of you at graduation on there. Can you tell us a little bit about you in high school?
Yeah, about me in high school. So first of all, I didn't know you were supposed to dress up for graduation. My parents like left early. Excuse me. So I'm wearing skateboard shoes and shorts, and yeah. So there you go. That pretty much sums me up in high school too. I was a pretty laid back guy. I played guitar. I played water polo.
Were you in a band?
I was in a band. Yes, we were terrible. We were called Fish Out of Water. And you probably haven't heard of us, which is fine. Actually, my daughter just found out this week I was in a band, so I played her some of it, and she thought we were terrible. So, pretty much the opinion of most people.
Any song titles you can share with us?
Yeah, we had a song called Wendy, and it was about fast food, Wendy's.
Any advice you would give your past self?
Advice I would give my past self? I would say live in the moment more. I think that's good advice for anyone. I think sometimes we get like too worried about what's next, or even thinking about the past, but just being able to enjoy and like just kind of chill and enjoy the present day. We're gonna go out now. Let's go out. One time I opened that door and my lanyard got caught on it and it like ripped my pants. So careful, these doors are dangerous.
Did you think you were going to be a leadership teacher?
I actually applied here to be a leadership teacher, and they had another guy working that job at the time, and so they didn't hire me. But it's something I always wanted to do. My degree is in English, though. So.
What drove you to teaching?
What drove me to teaching is I always liked being around people. I knew I wanted a job that was going to be different every day, and that I wouldn't have like sit at a desk and program, or not that that's bad. That's great. A lot of you are going to do really well with that. But I wanted a variety of people. I wanted a variety of activity, and teaching is perfect for that.
What were you going to teach first?
My credential was in English. First thing I taught here was English, and I also taught video production, so a little bit of both.
What's your favorite book?
Favorite book? Dang. I would say there's a book called Blue Like Jazz I really like. There's a book called Red Rising I really like. There's a series called The Expanse. I read a lot, so
Favorite genre?
Favorite genre? I would say probably sci-fi, actually. Maybe fantasy.
And your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh man, It's a Wonderful Life. It's an old movie. It's black and white.
Do you have a favorite sports team?
Yeah, Oakland Athletics. I mentioned that. Big A's fan. We're going upstairs. I like stairs.
Who is someone you look up to?
Someone I look up to? I would say probably my parents, both of them for different reasons. My dad is he's very driven, and he's very I don't know. He's just got his stuff together. And my mom is where I get my love of sports and my sense of humor. She's a funny person.
And when you're not at school, what are you doing?
When I'm not at school, I spend a lot of time with my kids and my wife. I like to travel a lot. I'm a runner, not a great one, but I like running. So I try and run frequently. I'm also very ADD, so I have to run, otherwise my brain will explode or something.
I heard you make videos.
I do make videos. So I shoot primarily weddings, shoot a lot of weddings. Have had the opportunity over the years to shoot all over the world for nonprofits and weddings and some really cool places. So yeah, I spend a lot of time filming.
How did you start?
It was something that I always loved doing from a young age. I would like steal my dad's camera back before cell phone cameras were readily available. Hi guys. But anyway, I grew up filming, stealing my dad's camera, and it transitioned into something where I was a double major in English and film. And so film for me was always a way to like express myself artistically and to be able to, I don't know, tell stories. I really like telling stories.
Filming is hard, and turning it into a business is also hard. What was the hardest part?
Hardest part was managing time. So I think difficult, it's one thing, it's difficult enough to teach and be able to manage the time for that. And it's also difficult to like have a business where I'm filming 25 to 30 events or days a year. And so I never wanted one thing to feel more important than the other and to be able to prioritize both, but also keeping my family like my number one priority. So I think time management is the most difficult thing just in general, and learning how to balance all of that.
And what are you most proud of?
Man, I think I'm most proud of just in life. Oh man, that's a really good question. I think I'm most proud of the fact that I've learned to manage those things, that it's not something that's come natural for me. I've actually had to work really hard to like develop the discipline because I'm kind of a procrastinator and I'm not the most organized person, so I've had to learn to do those things. And so I'm proud of the fact that I can like spend so much time with my wife and my kids that I don't feel overburdened by the amount of things going on.
And I heard you get to go to cool places. Which place have you visited now that is your favorite?
Man, Argentina, really liked Argentina, and South Africa, I would say, would probably be, for different reasons, two of my favorite places that I've been.
And what is your favorite place on campus?
Favorite place on campus is actually this room right here. This used to be my old classroom. They have class going on, so we can't go in there. But 4104 has this like back patio, and it was really nice to have like an indoor-outdoor classroom experience. I taught English in there. Funny story, this actually isn't that funny. Actually, it's kind of funny. There's windows, and I was teaching one time, and something like smacked the window, and we quickly realized it was a bird had like flown into the window, and I was teaching senior English. So a bunch of my seniors, we go outside, and there's this dead bird on the ground. We're like, oh gosh, this is so tragic. This bird died. And we had this one kid who was like, we should bury it. And we all were like, yeah, that's the right thing to do when something dies. And so he goes to pick it up, and the bird like looks at him and then flies and hits him. And we all screamed. I screamed like a small child, and we all kind of ran in separate directions. So the story ended well. The bird flew away. I'm sure he's alive today.
All right. What is your favorite thing about Dougherty?
Favorite thing about Dougherty is, I would say my favorite thing about Dougherty is seeing how far it's come. As someone who's been here from the beginning, to be able to see a school of people who were kind of forced to come here from all these different schools to something where it's become a community. I went to a play this weekend here with my family, and I took my kids to the basketball game on Friday, and I think my favorite part is just the variety of talent and gifts in the community that's been built here.
When you're not in the leadership room, which teacher are you most likely to be found with?
Man, I've known Mr. Worley the longest out of everyone on staff. We've known each other for well before I started teaching. So, Mr. Worley, we're gonna watch a movie together tonight, actually.
Which movie?
We're gonna watch Parasite.
And what is your favorite memory with Mr. Worley?
Favorite memory with Mr. Worley is we went on a houseboat trip once, and I think that's where we got to know each other. And I think my favorite memory is, it's cliche, but just the amount of history we have, and we have a lot of like common friends. And but the houseboat trip I remember distinctly as the first time that we hung out.
You guys have known each other for a while. What do you think makes a good friendship?
I think having someone who can challenge you and call you out, someone who knows the type of person you want to be and can point you in the direction of the type of person you want to be, and not someone who you feel like you constantly have to compromise who you are in order to be around them. So someone who can like push you and challenge you, and Mr. Worley and I have a lot of deep conversations. So
what do you think makes a good leader?
What makes a good leader? I think a lot of those same things. Like a good leader is someone who is humble and willing to admit they don't have it all figured out. So I'm the first to tell you that while I teach leadership, I'm someone who's continuing to learn about leadership and what it means to be a leader. I think humility is key. I think a willingness to compromise, and it goes back to the humility thing. Like, you don't always have it figured out, and being open and willing to hear other people, and someone who's committed to growing and learning and helping other people grow and learn along the way, I think are all key leadership qualities.
What's one thing you want, if there's only one thing all your leadership students take away from the class, what is that thing you want them to take away?
Yeah, I think I would say that life is about learning and growing, and it's okay if you don't have it all figured out now. So more than any other like leadership quality or leadershipy type thing, I think the one thing I would want people to walk away with is that it's okay to have it not all figured out, and it's okay to realize and kind of show yourself grace to understand that life's that journey. And I think sometimes, especially at our school, we're like, you need to know this is coming next, and you need to have this and that figured out. But it's okay if you don't have it figured out.
What is one thing you want more students on campus to know about leadership?
I think leadership kids work a lot harder than people think they work. And I think they care a lot more than people think they care. I think there's this misnomer that a leadership kid just cares about school spirit and looking good or having a good transcript. But the reality is they're flawed people, and they're people figuring out life just like everyone else on this campus, but they care. And I see how hard they work behind the scenes, and they get more crap than they get recognition, and that's okay. But I think the fact that they care a lot is something that a lot of people don't realize.
And this is our last question. What's one message you have for all Dougherty kids?
One message for all Dougherty kids is that you're going to be a lot different 10 years from now. You're going to be even more different 10 years after that. And I think sometimes this school in particular, you get it drilled in your head that you need to have it all figured out now, and you need to have your plan in place. And it's okay if you do have that plan in place. A lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. Like the thing I thought I wanted to be in high school, and the person I thought I was going to be, sure, some of those core things are there, but I'm entirely different than I was when I was 17 and 18. And I think you could ask any of the teachers to be the same way. So I think I would want all Dougherty kids to know that it's okay if you don't have it all figured out. Because even if you do have it all figured out, you're going to be so different 10, 15 years from now that you're going to have to figure it all out again. And life's about that continual process of figuring things out. And that's okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
This is 12:10, and I am Mr. Worley.